Coming up on Cabela's Sporting Dog Adventures, we head to Arkansas for a fun hunt that truly captures the different waterfowl opportunities in that state. We hit rice fields, flooded timber, and open water, giving Pickett and Pappy plenty of retrieves and some well-deserved pampering along the way. Don't go anywhere, our high-flying adventures are up next.
Hey, pretty mama, go and grab the scattergun. Romo's looking like he's got one more good run. His hips are a little shaky, but his heart's still true. Oh, how that dog loves hunting with me and you. Sporting Dog Adventures, run, boy, run. Everything you need is here under the sun. Everything you need is here under the sun.
This week we hit the road to Tiller, Arkansas. We're hunting at the Delta Resort and Spa with good friends Brandon Payne of Liberty Safe and Andy McDaniels of Vanishing Paradise. After a long trip and a good night's rest, we headed out to the clubhouse so we could get ready for our first hunt. Our hunt took us to a flooded rice field. We had temperatures that were headed in the right direction to move the birds and clear skies. The birds that were in the area had been there for a while, which made it difficult to pull them into range. Luckily, our guide Steve was pretty persuasive with his calling. Pickett. Yep, fetch him up. Ah, Pickett. So he does a great job. He chases down the drake. Then he does what a professionally trained dog is not supposed to do. He takes a crippled bird that he just caught, puts it down, and picks up a dead hen that was on the water. This was on me as a handler. What I should have done was really gotten on him with his recall whistle and pulled him back to me so that it didn't give him the opportunity to go and switch birds. This is why you never brag about your dog until they're long gone. That's a pretty shot with the sun on his head. Here. Good shooting, guys. With that, we decided to end our hunt and head back to the resort. Once back at the lodge, we had it set up so that Pickett and Andy McDaniels would both get some well-deserved pampering.
Oh, does that feel good, buddy? Tail's wagging. Buddy, you're gonna look so good in the duck blind tomorrow. He hunted hard today, so we're pampering our pup. Here at Delta Resort, it's dogs that come first. Hold, sit.
Thanks, Pickett.
Good boy.
Thanks,
Good
buddy.
boy.
Coming up on Cabela's Sporting Dog Adventures, we continue to enjoy the amenities and the hunting at the Delta Resort. The birds keep working, and Pickett, fully rejuvenated, continues to work hard in the field. Good boy, here. But before the break, here's a conservation quick fact. Millions of ducks and geese winter in the Gulf Coast wetlands, but the oyster reefs that protect the wetlands have declined dramatically over the past decades. Restoring oyster reefs will improve water quality, lessen damages from hurricanes, and protect wetlands for waterfowl. Cabela's Sporting Dog Adventures is brought to you by Cabela's, Liberty Safe, Big Dog Lawnmowers, The Kansas Department of Wildlife Parks and Tourism. Cat Pack. American Natural Premium Dog Food. Browning. Browning Pet Products. Spy Point. High-Vis. Heavy Shot. Mech Shooting Sports. The National Wildlife Federation's Vanishing Paradise Program. Conquest Scent Sticks. Hadel's Game Calls. Onyx Maps. And Boucher Automotive Group. This training tip is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Welcome to this week's training tip. This week, we're going to teach Mr. Alex here how to not cheat and take the shortest route, which is to stay in the water and come directly back after a retrieve. This is an important thing that you do with dogs so that they stay in the water, they take the closest and most direct route there and back so you don't lose them on a retrieve. This is also very important if you ever want to run your dog in competition. So what we're going to do is we're going to first start with Mr. Alex on retrieves that are thrown directly in the pond. The retrieve's going to fall about a foot or two from shore, and then we're going to give a hard recall. Attaboy, here! And give Alex a lot of praise when he brings it back. Here, good boy. The next step will be throwing the bumper slightly onto the land, and then again, giving him a hard recall to bring him back. Attaboy, here, good boy! On this step, Alex may be tempted to get onto land and try to run back to us. If he does, we're going to use our electric collar, and we're going to give him one correction without saying a word. We're then going to throw one short of land by about a foot again, going back to step one, call him back with a hard recall and give him a lot of praise. After we do that, we'll again throw it slightly onto land, give him a very hard recall. When he comes back to us correctly, we're going to give him a lot of praise. On our third step, we're going to throw the bumper far onto land, by let's say like 5 feet. The temptation for Alex is to stay on land and just run around the corner of the pond to us. So if he does do that, we'll again give him a correction with the collar, and we'll start back to step two, where we throw it slightly onto land, give him a hard recall, and give him a lot of praise. In his mind, he again is going to think that, in essence, the land is what's shocking him, and realize that he gets praise if he comes directly back to us on a straight line, and he gets a negative consequence if he runs back on land. As the dog progresses in this drill, you can do what's called cutting a pie, which is making the amount of water in the corner smaller and smaller with every step. And eventually, you're going to have a dog that takes a great line there and back. That's this week's training tip. Now back to the hunt. It's day 2 of our hunt at Delta Resort, one of the premier waterfall destinations in Arkansas.
We are a shooting destination for duck hunters. We also maintain a pro shop so that people can buy ammunition, guns, apparel that's designed and licensed for our property. We also have a restaurant. We are a family atmosphere, so the kids can come out and get a corn dog, and Dad can have cobia fish if he likes. Very wide variety on our menu.
Personally, we had more ducks and geese on our menu for the morning hunt. I had Pickett back in the blind, along with my 2-year-old yellow male Pappy. This was Pappy's first season where he actually got to go out in the field and hunt and not just run competition. Having 2 dogs along in the blind, I knew was going to create some issues. We ended up with the 2 of them competing over retrieves when there's only 1 bird down. But for me, it was really important to have a dog along that handled, which was Pickett, and I wanted Pappy to get the experience under his belt so that he had some time in the field. Get him. Back. That was a pretty bird. Now let's take a trip to the whelping box, brought to you by Phytovite and Gunner Kennels.
Welcome to the Whelping Box. We are back with Southern Belle, Dixie's puppies, and we have some exciting news for you. They're about 11 days old, and after day 10, you can start to watch for their eyes to open. So this little one's eyes are just starting to open. He's making a little squeaking noise right now because he's actually calling out for his mother. The mothers hear that noise and they come to their puppies to feed them. And that noise also causes their mammary glands to stimulate and make milk. Up until this point, he's actually been deaf and blind. So this is a big development for these little guys. So we are on the 11th day of these little guys' development. We are going to put this one back with his mother because obviously he's quite hungry.
Hey, we're getting all packed up. We're at Delta Resort in Arkansas. We had a lot of fun. Dogs did really well. Hope you guys enjoy this part of the show. Stay tuned for more high-flying adventures.
Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, where you can win great prizes from our sponsors, including a puppy just like this little guy from Soggy Acres Retrievers. And now it's time for What's Cooking with Kate, brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Hey, welcome to What's Cooking with Kate. Kate, what's cooking?
We are going to make duck pot stickers today.
Okay.
Pretty exciting, huh? But first we're going to make our own fresh ground duck meat to put into the wonton wrapper. So this is our fresh duck, which we've already sliced into nice chunks. You're gonna put the pieces into the tray, and then we're gonna use the stomper tool and never our fingers or anything else to put it down into the grinder part, and we're gonna make the ground duck so that we can later use it to make a filling. So now we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients. A quarter to a third of a cup of a diced onion, and about the same amount, maybe a little less on the chopped up red bell pepper. So next we're gonna add our coarse ground sea salt, about a teaspoon, and black pepper. If you have fresh or you want to do your own coarse ground, that's even nicer. And then a quarter teaspoon of the red cayenne pepper. That's just a little bit of a kick. And then 1 teaspoon of the brown sugar. So we have a little spice and we have a little sweet. So we're gonna mix it, and the easiest way to do it, honestly, is by hand. Then you don't waste meat, you don't get it under your nails, it's hygienic. We're gonna add a little bit of our brown mustard, and you can mix it in for me. And either some barbecue sauce or ketchup, whichever you have in the house. So what we're gonna do next, now that we have our filling all done, is we are going to actually fill the wonton wrappers, and then we're gonna basically fry them, essentially. So what we're gonna do is take your filling. We're gonna only put about a teaspoon into each one. Really, any more than that will make a mess. Paint the edges with just a little water. We're gonna try to get as much of the air out as we can. It will make a mess in the pan if we don't. We're gonna make up about 5 or so. We have a pretty small pan and we don't wanna crowd the pan. They won't heat properly if you put too many in. So I'm gonna quick toss in a 1/3 cup of chicken stock, and I'm gonna have you cover it really quick, and it's going to like steam, so. And another 2 minutes on the timer. All right, so here they are all done. They have some browning on the backside where they were properly stuck to the pan. Is it good? Must be.
That's really good. That's this week's What's Cooking with Kate. Now back to the hunt.
Day 3 of our trip had us headed to the flooded timber. We were hunting out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and our journey started in the dark, on boats, headed through sloughs to our spot. Once we got there, Pickett got on the dog stand, and he decided to rest up a little bit. I was wondering how excited he was going to be for this hunt, as he could hardly keep his eyes open. Talk about anticipation. We're in the flooded timber. We've got whistling wings of birds circling above us, and this is the quintessential Arkansas hunt.
Worked right into our face.
Come on.
Pickett.
Got some nice curls too, look at that. Girl. Hunting the timber was unique and something I want to do again real soon. It was a fun hunt that I'll always remember. Now it's time to wrap up, pick up the decoys, and go on a really fun boat ride through the trees. Coming up on Cabela's Sporting Dog Adventures, our crew heads to a levee on a large lake to shoot some gadwall. But before the break, here's a conservation quick fact. Many outdoor businesses, guide services, marinas, and more rely on healthy Louisiana wetlands to generate revenue. Commercial and recreational saltwater fishing alone generates more than $10 billion annually, vital to the state of Louisiana's economy. This product profile is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Cabela's has come out with a great new line of e-collars. Our dogs use them a lot. We use them in the field, but we also train dogs here at Soggy Acres Retrievers. We've got thousands of hours on our e-collars. We've used them in many applications: upland, waterfowl, and the countless dogs that we train here at Soggy Acres Retrievers. This is a GS 8000. It has a 3/4 mile range, and it's nice because it actually works 2 different collars. It's got a little toggle switch where you flip from one to the other so you can run ultimately 2 dogs off one remote. The collar has 15 levels of stimulation. It's got an LCD screen. It's got a tone mode, as well as momentary and continuous buttons for your application of stimulation to the dog. Having your dog under control in the field is important to any upland, waterfowler, or person training. Having a good e-collar makes that possible. Check out the new Cabela's Gun Dog Series e-collars. Again, this is the GS 8000. It's something we've put to the test in our kennel, and it's definitely passed. We are down to our last morning in Arkansas. We were headed to a lake that was separated with a levee where they had several blinds. From scouting reports, there were a lot of gadwall in the area, and we had Pappy ready to hit the field with a beautiful morning sky. Setting in right behind us again. Right here. He got hit a few times. Here. Pappy's first gadwall. I think they are a pretty little bird. He's gonna come in. We had small groups of birds working. We had birds landing behind us. They were shooting from across the lake. You definitely had to keep your eyes peeled for incoming ducks. Here with Gabe Gallister from Vanishing Paradise. Gabe, you're part of the Vanishing Paradise group. Why is it important to people and why should they get involved?
Well, Vanishing Paradise is a conservation group that is directly involved in the conservation of our wetlands down in Louisiana, which directly affects all of our waterfowl.
Yeah, I mean, people don't understand. They worry about duck production. They worry about the prairie pothole region and producing ducks. But if the ducks don't have a place to winter and eat and feed, they are not going to make it back north.
You know, there is a solution for the loss of our habitat down there. It's just a matter of getting through the politics. And Vanishing Paradise is one of the groups out there pushing to have the money and resources put in the right places to preserve this.
So it's the end of Pappy's first season hunting. He's got to go back south. He's going to run hunt test and competition. He's working on his handling. He's coming along good. His marking obviously is good. His nose is good. He's got great drive. He's a good looking little dog, just over 2 years old, about 65 pounds of nothing but energy. Pappy and Pickett did a wonderful job. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's show. Stay tuned for more high-flying adventures next week. Next week on Cabela's Sporting Dog Adventures, we take you on a waterfowl hunt from Kansas and Saskatchewan.
Kill him.
Rommel gets to tour the Big Dog Plant, and we introduce you to our social media contest winner from Season 4 as we take a few birds along the way. Closed captioning provided by Hadel's Game Calls.
If you're looking for a puppy
training
or want to use one of our stud dogs,
contact us at soggyacres.com.
Ducks coming down, cameras all around, filming in the air. I just don't care. How do you feel about the hunt? Well, Jeff, I'm feeling it's not going very well for me. Why do you feel that way? Because I was shot, and now I'm going to go in a gumbo pod. And that's all from the field today from Mr. Duck.